cone drills actually useful? Now, this has been a hot topic in the football scene for multiple years now, and you've got these football accounts on Instagram basically saying that they're terrible, they actually make you worse, which is crazy. And these accounts are the Entangled Footballer and Natural Footballers. So firstly, I just want to say shush to them, and a quick disclaimer, they do actually have some good content where they talk about the ability of kicking the ball against a wall multiple times a day. Like, of course that's going to help you improve at football, but on the main part they just need to shush, because cone drills, of course, they help you. So let's get into it. So the dubs of cone drills: your dribbling is obviously going to improve if you basically teach your brain to take these really small touches in and out of something. Then of course your dribbling is going to improve. The ball is going to be kept closer to your feet, and that's the muscle memory that you're going to build that with. And also, this is another big one that I think is one of the biggest reasons why my dribbling has improved, is you actually tear the muscle fibers down when you do this, because obviously it's quite a high intensity activity. When you're going like this for like 5-10 minutes straight, even 20 minutes straight, then of course you're going to burn the muscle fibers, you're going to make these micro tears. So that's what that's going to do, is it's going to build your muscle back stronger, and that's going to give you better agility to shift in and out. So you can replicate this basically on a game day where you're dribbling at someone, and you've basically got the muscle memory and you've got the actual muscle strength to push off from someone and basically go around them easier. So very obvious. And then from a practical point of view, why cone drills are brilliant is you can train alone and do them, and you're going to improve. Lots of people rely on team training to improve, which team training, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Team training is brilliant, but sometimes you need to grind on your own. If your pals don't want to grind with you, then you got to do some stuff on your own, and cone drills are perfect for a training day on your own. And finally, if you practice them right, I'm going to go through the mistakes that people make, but if you practice cone drills right, the ball will be stuck to your feet like glue. It's just obvious, boys, as I explained it, and you can see it in my game. My dribbling's improved so much from doing these drills. So if you want to have the ball stuck to your feet like glue, then keep watching the video. I'm going to go through exactly what you need to do and what you don't need to do, what you should avoid. So let's go to the next slide. So the credibility behind cone drills. So just starting off, we've got Musiala saying in multiple interviews that he practiced so many cone drills when he was younger. So if that isn't enough to hear that you need to practice cone drills, then I don't know what is, because he's one of the best dribblers in the world right now, if not the greatest. So I think that adds up. If he's doing all these La Croquetas through people and he's dribbling in and out people, then of course the cone drills helped him get there, as he's said it himself. So cone drills are actually a part of a lot of professional footballers' routines as well, not just him. So I think that's good evidence that it actually improves you, because if they're still doing these when they're 25, 30 years old and they're still practicing their cone drills, then they must think it should help them. So I don't know why you wouldn't. Here's what not to do, because you can go wrong with cone drills, that is the truth. So don't do it for any more than 30 minutes, and don't only practice cone drills. Of course, this is nothing against the cone drills, but if you're only practicing cone drills, then you're going to lack development in other areas of your game, such as your passing, etc, etc. And also, don't do it for more than 30 minutes. Basically, from my experience when I'm doing cone drills, it genuinely burns your legs, like the calves, the quads, and like the hips, the TFL. Like when you're just making all these little movements and you're shifting your whole body weight from one side to the other, of course it's going to basically take a toll on your legs. So don't do it for any more than 30 minutes, otherwise you'll feel it the next day, and you definitely don't want that. Also, neglecting 1v1 training. Do not do this, because basically 1v1 training is the absolute nuts when it comes to improving your 1v1s and your dribbling, because obviously cone drills are very helpful to an extent, but the way that you can really elevate your game is when you're doing 1v1 training and you're reacting to external forces of the other player's movement. So you see how Jack Grealish dribbles, for example. He dribbles at players, and before he beats them, before he basically pushes off and beats them, he just waits for them to move their leg to go in for the tackle, and then he pushes the ball the other way. So that's basically how you're going to improve as well. You want to do some 1v1 training, you definitely need to implement that into your training sessions. And keeping your eyes purely on the ball. This is something that I've struggled with. Lots of people have done this when you first get into cone drills, or even your first year doing cone drills. It's very easy to just look at the ball, because obviously this is all new to you, so you need to basically look at it for a while. Obviously, as soon as you can get out of this habit, it's brilliant, but basically you don't want to just be looking at the ball, because it's not game realistic. Because if you do that in a game, then you're not going to see someone coming in to slide tackle you, you're not going to see the extra pass that you could make earlier. So you want to keep your eyes not fully straight up, because obviously you do need to sort of keep a slight eye on the ball, but basically don't have your head straight down so you can't see anything else that's going on in the game. Then you're going to be moving like a headless chicken, and no one wants that. So don't do them every day. This is the final point. This just applies to everything with football. It's not just like, this isn't really cone drill specific at all, but you obviously want to leave time for recovery. You need them muscle fibres to just, let them heal, so then they grow back stronger and bigger. So make sure you have at least 1 to 2 rest days a week, pretty much. And then let's get on to the perfect routine. So the perfect routine, this is what you want to do if you want to improve on your technical ability, your dribbling ability, or your 1v1 ability, or all 3 of them. So this is how I would basically schedule what I do. So I do a warm-up, light, obvious. Then I would do the cone drills first, just because I think this is the best thing to do first, because one, you're not going to get injured, because it's not a contact bit of the sport. And then also, this is where you're going to really get the benefit from learning how to keep the ball really close to you. And make sure you do lots of variation. If you just do one type of dribble, then of course you'll be restricted to only being able to do that dribble in game, I guess, to an extent. So make sure you're doing lots. Some of my favourites are the messy dribble, the one touch in, one touch out. The one touch in, one touch out, like, that burns your legs. You're pushing off. It's going to make your agility insane. The La Croqueta as well is the most rinsed skill in today's game. And a ball roll dribble across each cone. I think this is very good for technical ability. And basically, just mix it up. If you want lots of ideas of what to do, then obviously you can go on YouTube, or you can go on my TikTok account, or my Instagram account, or my shorts. I've got loads of dribbling sessions that I basically do. You don't have to just do that one session. You can incorporate lots of different others to it. But basically put together the stuff that you think helps you the most. Obviously for me, it's the exact videos that I do. But basically mix it up. You want to have lots of variation in there so you don't become robotic, because obviously that is a risk if you only practice cone drills. Obviously that's very unlikely to happen if you're doing all the other stuff. But just basically make sure you're getting a lot of variation into what you're doing, just so you keep your creativity. Then we're going to move into some IDP, which stands for Instinct Driven Play Style, which is effectively where you get into the flow state. So you see Neymar dribbling, he's obviously not thinking like in, out, like it's not a cone drill to him. It's just you'll get into the flow state. So what you want to do to basically get into that is you run around the pitch, and it's better to do this in the position that you actually play. So if you play left wing, then run along the left hand side of the pitch where you'd be taking most of your one-on-ones, and then basically visualize beating defenders. And this combination of doing the cone drills to improve the muscle memory in your close tight touches, and having that creativity to basically just do random step overs, drop the shoulder, beat someone who's not even there, that's basically going to keep you very creative, and you're not going to be moving robotic, and you're going to have insane close control. Then also make sure you're practicing something else. Obviously you don't want to just focus on one aspect of your game, which we're talking about dribbling here. You want to practice something else. So if you're a centre mid, practice your through balls, something like that. Don't just practice your technical in one day, basically. And then lastly, this is not really a warm down, this is the height of what you're doing. Do some 1v1s with your friends, because as you can see, all the other stuff is effectively a warm up for it to be contact. Do some 1v1s with your friends. Don't do 100, that's maybe too much, but just do 10, 20, 30, and you'll learn so much, because as I said before, you have to react to their external force, which is something you don't benefit from doing cone drills. So as I said, if your friend's dangling his leg in, or he's sort of just moving, your eyes basically have to be watching that, so you can actually go around him and know when the best time is to push off. So that's pretty much the perfect routine. I think I've described that very well, and also I hope you guys understand now that cone drills are perfect, but not just when you do them on their own. You got to incorporate other things as well to improve all this 1v1 dribbling stuff. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe, and message me on Instagram if you got any questions. I reply to all my questions on Instagram, reply to all of you guys. So that's me done. We'll see you guys later.